Sweeney's defeat here at Vale Park, how would you assess our performance this afternoon?
Again, probably like repeating ourselves a little bit. Didn't create enough in the attacking third. The little bits that we did create didn't show enough conviction to stick the ball in the back of the net, and then conceded two really poor goals again. Like a broken record.
Just in terms of the goals, it's obviously poor defending, and for the first one, really, not us claiming our lines. It must have been a huge frustration watching that.
Yeah, massive frustration. When you're in a run like we are, or when you're a team as we are with the aims and objectives we've got this season, you've got to do certain things. They're a given. They're a minimum requirement. One of them's stopping, or at best trying to stop every ball that comes into your box. Now, you won't do that 100% of the time, but I think too many times we gamble that something might not happen on the back of it. Instead of putting our all in to stop it and cutting it at source and making sure that there is no chance at the end of it, we don't finish the chances that Port Vale finished today. When we get the byline and cut it back, either the chance is missed or there's no one there to tap it in. If you get the bodies in the right areas, and you've got the desire, the conviction, the attitude to stick the ball in the back of the net, you'll score goals at this level. We're severely lacking that.
Just towards the beginning of the day, Eddie Jones, Luke Hendry came back on the side, so David Ferguson almost pushed further forward in a different shape and system. What was the thinking behind that?
The thinking is we've conceded far too many goals over the last couple of months, really. Probably going back further than that. You need to find a way of trying. I've said it before in press conferences. You need to find a way of being solid at the back and still carrying a threat. Now, we're still searching for that. That was hence the reason for the change. I've said it as well that there's some tired bodies at the end of or in the middle of a really tough period. We obviously lost Moles at half time due to tightness in a calf, which is the result of that tough period. So it can't be a case of we haven't got the luxury of just rolling out the same 11 players week in, week out, game in, game out. We've got to rely on certain other players at certain times. We've just got to hope that when we do rely on other players, that the quality of performance, the quality of our play doesn't suffer.
Microphone up fella, both on the bench, both came on in the last game, obviously not included today. What was behind that?
I thought we needed a different outlook on the bench. We've got to pick an 8 team, we've got too many bodies. There's always going to be players missing out. I keep saying it, when you get your chance on the pitch, that's your opportunity to make sure that myself here or whoever the next manager is doesn't have the opportunity to leave you out the squad or leave you out the starting 11. Now, in my opinion, I didn't think the two lads did enough on the last game to stop me doing that. Now, that wasn't the whole reason why they weren't on the bench. Like I said, I thought Port Vale would offer a different type of challenge. I thought we needed a different outlook in them attacking areas, and that was the squad we went with. Was
there positives to take before the second goal went in terms of us pressing forward and looking for that equaliser?
I suppose you've always got to try and look at positives at some point, but I think it's clutching at straws a little bit. The first goal was always going to be crucial. I said that to the lads. To concede it as poorly as we did is a kick in the teeth. I thought from then on it was pretty even without us creating too much, without Port Vale creating too much. And then obviously you're chasing the game towards the end. We're looking to attack. You're a little bit open, but again too passive in our defending. Too passive, too easy to ride through challenges. Too easy to get your shot off. Too easy to score against, and that's regardless of whether that's in injury time, before injury time, or during the first half like it was then.
Apart from not putting the ball in the back of the net, what do you put down specifically to the recent bad run of defeats?
Good question. Have you had the answer to that? I'd like to think that we wouldn't have the run of defeats we had. There's loads of things that have changed quite clearly. They're obvious for everyone to see. The team's took a hit. Confidence has dropped a little bit, and I think there's certain things that whoever stands in this position can influence, can impact. But there's also things you can't puppet players. I said it in there after the game. I'm a big believer in players win your games. Players players are the ones that have to make them decisions in key moments. So the promotion last season, that wasn't due to any one person. That was due to a full collective of players making more decisions correct than they didn't. Now we've stepped up a level. I think we're getting punished more often for mistakes. And I think we don't get as many opportunities as we did in the level below, but that's what we strive to do. We're not stupid. We knew that was the case, and we're going to have to find a way in the short term to correct that, and in the mid to long term, maybe recruit some players where not only does it improve the squad, but it helps the ones that are still here.
I know we spoke about it after Swindon, and we said it's obviously gone through a tough few games, but against very good opponents who are all going to be in and around the playoffs towards the end of the season. And in the opposite dugout today, obviously a good friend of yours we mentioned, if you had a chance to speak to him, and obviously really look at the fact that Port Vale are a very decent side.
I spoke to Darryl before the game. I speak to him quite regular, not in the build up to this game, if you like, for obvious reasons. But he'll always remain a good friend of mine. He's someone that I have done in the previous. I'll bounce ideas off. I'll ask for advice and things like that. I'm gonna share a beer with him now. Congratulate him, but he'll understand where I'm at. He was hurting midweek. I know what type of guy he is. We're in that position now. Tough. But this is where your characters stand out. This is where you've got to find something within you, because if you don't, nothing's going to come easy. Nothing changes. And
just quickly, finally, you said about Luke Molyneux, calf injury at half time. Was that?
Yeah, he was one of the players that I sort of referenced without referencing by name. In terms of he's had a big workload. We've got certain things that flag up, but he's a key player for us. So, like I say, we haven't got the luxury of being able to swap key players in and out the side and maintain still the level of performance that we done maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. So he was one where we thought he was fine. Don't get me wrong, he's not massively injured, but it was one of them where if we could wheel him out in the second half and potentially lose him for a long period of time. Now that's not something I was willing to do. So we erred on the side of caution a little bit.
Sorry, thanks very much.